Defense forces continue executing operational tasks along one of the critical directions on the Eastern Front. Elite assault units are working in coordinated fashion, utilizing available reconnaissance assets and successfully clearing designated areas while securing control of tactical positions. This footage provides an educational overview of defensive operations in Donetsk region. Before we proceed with today's situational assessment, please remember to leave your thoughts in the comments section, consider supporting this channel to receive exclusive documentary material, and subscribe for regular frontline reports and analytical updates. The operational environment presents significant challenges. Assault teams are advancing across terrain with limited natural cover, demonstrating tactical discipline and coordinated movement patterns. Each soldier maintains situational awareness while the unit progresses methodically toward designated objectives. Ground conditions require careful navigation. The team leader coordinates movement, ensuring proper spacing between personnel to minimize vulnerability during the advance. Communication remains constant through secure channels as the unit maintains formation integrity. Meanwhile, reconnaissance activity continues in parallel. Observation posts relay real-time information regarding hostile positioning and movement patterns. This data enables assault groups to adjust their approach and maintain tactical advantage throughout the operation. The defense forces are utilizing standard infantry tactics adapted to local terrain characteristics. Soldiers move in calculated intervals, pausing to assess the situation before continuing their advance. This measured approach reflects professional military training and operational experience gained over extended frontline deployment. As the unit progresses, supporting elements provide overwatch from advantageous positions. The coordination between advanced teams and support personnel exemplifies the integration of combined arms principles at the tactical level. Every movement is deliberate, every decision informed by current intelligence assessments. Defensive positions previously held by opposing forces are now being systematically addressed. The assault team approaches each location with standardized procedures, clearing fields of fire and establishing temporary security perimeters. The work is methodical, reflecting doctrine and training rather than improvisation. Environmental factors influence the pace of operations. Visibility across open ground works both ways, requiring constant vigilance from advancing personnel. The assault squad adapts movement patterns based on terrain features, utilizing whatever minimal cover is available while maintaining momentum toward objectives. Communication between squad members remains professional and concise. Hand signals supplement radio communications, ensuring redundancy in command and control. This level of coordination is essential when operating in environments where conventional concealment is limited. The advance continues. Each position reached represents another incremental gain in the broader tactical picture. While individual movements may appear small in isolation, they contribute to cumulative progress that gradually shifts the frontline situation in favor of defensive operations. Supporting units maintain readiness to provide assistance if required. The multi-layered approach to these operations ensures that forward elements are never operating in isolation. Logistics, communications, and tactical support remain available throughout the duration of fieldwork. As hostile positions are located, assault teams adjust their approach accordingly. The process involves careful assessment of each location, determining the most effective method for securing the area while minimizing risk to advancing personnel. Standard operating procedures guide these decisions, refined through months of continuous operations. The work is demanding both physically and mentally. Soldiers maintain focus despite environmental stressors, demonstrating the resilience that characterizes professional military units operating under challenging conditions. Hydration discipline, equipment maintenance, and situational awareness remain constant priorities. Meanwhile, parallel efforts continue along adjacent sectors. Multiple teams are operating simultaneously across the broader operational area, each contributing to the overall mission objectives. This distributed approach prevents concentration of forces while maintaining pressure across extended front lines. As the first phase of operations progresses, the tactical situation gradually evolves. Territory that was previously contested is now secured, allowing subsequent phases to commence. The transition between operational stages is smooth, reflecting effective planning and coordination at multiple command levels. Operations across open terrain require specialized tactical approaches that differ fundamentally from urban or forested environments. The assault elements currently advancing demonstrate adaptation of standard infantry doctrine to these specific conditions. Movement patterns are deliberately varied to prevent predictability. The unit alternates between rapid advances during favorable moments and prolonged observation periods when situational assessment is required. This rhythm disrupts potential hostile targeting while maintaining operational momentum toward designated objectives. Terrain analysis plays a critical role in route selection. Even seemingly flat ground contains subtle elevation changes, shallow depressions, and minor vegetation that can provide momentary concealment. Experienced squad leaders identify and utilize these micro-terrain features, routing the unit through marginally advantageous ground whenever possible. The spacing between individual soldiers is continuously adjusted based on threat assessment and terrain characteristics. Wider intervals reduce vulnerability to area effects while maintaining mutual support distances. Team leaders monitor these intervals constantly, making minor corrections through hand signals to preserve formation integrity without verbal commands. Overwatch procedures are implemented throughout the advance. As forward elements move, designated personnel maintain stationary positions with clear fields of observation. Once the advancing group reaches their next position, roles rotate. The former Overwatch team advances while the newly positioned soldiers provide coverage. This technique, known as bounding Overwatch, ensures continuous security throughout movement phases. Reconnaissance assets provide critical support during open terrain operations. Aerial observation platforms relay real-time updates regarding hostile activity beyond visual range of ground personnel. This information enables assault teams to anticipate potential contact zones and adjust approach vectors accordingly. The integration of aerial and ground reconnaissance creates a comprehensive awareness picture. Communication protocols are adapted to the operational environment. Radio transmissions remain brief and encoded to minimize signature. Visual signals supplement electronic communications, with team members maintaining line-of-sight awareness whenever tactical positioning allows. Redundant communication methods ensure message delivery, even if primary systems are compromised. Equipment considerations become particularly important during extended movements across open ground. Water consumption rates increase due to physical exertion and environmental exposure. Ammunition distribution is carefully managed to ensure adequate supplies while minimizing carried weight. Every piece of equipment must justify its presence through operational necessity. The psychological dimension of open terrain operations cannot be overlooked. Soldiers operate with the awareness that concealment options are limited, requiring heightened mental discipline to maintain focus and execute tactical procedures despite elevated exposure. Unit cohesion and mutual trust become essential factors in sustaining operational effectiveness under these conditions. As hostile positions are identified during the advance, assault teams employ suppression tactics to facilitate continued movement. Designated personnel provide covering fire while others advance to more favorable positions. This fire and movement technique allows forward progress even when direct hostile engagement occurs. Natural light conditions influence operational timing and procedures. The angle and intensity of sunlight affect visibility, observation capabilities, and detection risk. Experienced units factor these considerations into their tactical planning, timing certain movements to exploit favorable lighting conditions while minimizing disadvantageous exposure. As hostile positions are identified during the advance, assault teams employ suppression tactics to facilitate continued movement. Designated personnel provide covering fire while others advance to more favorable positions. This fire and movement technique allows forward progress even when direct hostile engagement occurs. Natural light conditions influence operational timing and procedures. The angle and intensity of sunlight affect visibility, observation capabilities, and detection risk. Experienced units factor these considerations into their tactical planning, timing certain movements to exploit favorable lighting conditions while minimizing disadvantageous exposure. The tempo of operations is carefully controlled. Rushing creates unnecessary risk and reduces situational awareness, while excessive caution prevents mission accomplishment. Squad leaders continuously calibrate this balance, adjusting pace based on real-time threat assessment and mission timeline requirements. Supporting elements maintain readiness to provide rapid response if forward teams encounter unexpected resistance. Quick reaction forces position themselves at intervals that allow timely intervention while remaining dispersed enough to avoid concentration vulnerabilities. This layered security approach provides multiple response options across various contingencies. Logistical considerations are integrated into tactical planning. Resupply points are identified along planned routes, allowing ammunition and water replenishment without requiring full unit withdrawal. Medical evacuation routes are predetermined, ensuring rapid casualty transport if required. These preparations enable sustained operations without compromising tactical positioning. The environmental factors extend beyond simple terrain considerations. Wind direction affects sound propagation and can reveal or conceal movement noise. Ground composition influences footfall signatures, vegetation patterns, even sparse growth can provide minimal visual disruption against backgrounds. Professional soldiers incorporate all these variables into their tactical decision-making process. As the unit approaches intermediate objectives, security procedures intensify. Potential ambush sites receive particular scrutiny. Areas offering any concealment to hostile forces are treated with elevated caution, with designated personnel maintaining weapons orientation toward likely threat vectors while the unit navigates these zones. The cumulative effect of proper open terrain tactics is measurable in operational outcomes. Units that master these procedures accomplish missions with greater efficiency and reduced risk compared to those relying solely on basic movement techniques. The difference between adequate and exceptional performance often lies in attention to tactical details that appear minor individually but prove decisive collectively. Throughout these operations, documentation continues through helmet-mounted recording devices. This footage serves multiple purposes: operational review for tactical improvement, evidence documentation for reporting requirements, and historical record of military operations. The educational value of such material extends beyond immediate operational utility. As this phase of operations concludes, the assault unit has successfully traversed challenging terrain while maintaining tactical integrity and accomplishing assigned objectives. The transition to the next operational phase, urban clearing operations, will require immediate adaptation of procedures to dramatically different environmental conditions. The versatility demonstrated by these units reflects comprehensive training and operational experience across diverse combat environments. The operational focus now shifts toward built-up areas. The assault unit repositions for the next phase of clearing operations, this time within more complex urban terrain. The challenges here differ significantly from open ground operations, requiring adjusted tactics and heightened vigilance. Defense forces are now conducting systematic clearing operations within residential areas. The environment is characterized by civilian structures, including houses, storage facilities, and underground spaces. Each location must be assessed individually, as structural variations create unique tactical considerations. The assault team approaches the first structure with established protocols. Entry points are identified and evaluated. Soldiers position themselves to provide mutual support while maintaining awareness of potential secondary threats from adjacent buildings. The urban environment demands constant three-dimensional thinking. Reconnaissance elements continue providing updated information regarding the layout of structures and possible hostile presence. This intelligence allows clearing teams to develop appropriate entry plans before committing personnel to potentially hazardous situations. Preparation minimizes uncertainty. As clearing operations commence, the team demonstrates practice proficiency in room-by-room procedures. Each space is addressed systematically. Corners, doorways, and concealed areas receive appropriate attention. Nothing is assumed. Everything is verified through direct observation. Communication becomes even more critical in confined spaces. Visual contact between team members may be interrupted by walls and structures, making radio discipline essential. Call-outs are precise and immediate, ensuring all personnel maintain current awareness of team positioning and discoveries. Agricultural outbuildings present their own considerations. These structures often feature irregular layouts, limited lighting, and multiple potential concealment positions. Clearing teams adjust their approach based on structural characteristics, maintaining flexibility while adhering to fundamental tactical principles. Underground spaces require particular caution. Basements and cellars restrict movement and limit escape routes for both advancing soldiers and any occupants encountered. Procedures for these environments emphasize controlled entry, adequate lighting, and clear communication throughout the process. The work continues building by building, structure by structure. Each location cleared represents another increment of secured territory, another position denied to opposing forces. The cumulative effect of these individual actions contributes to broader operational success across the sector. Defensive positions within structures are identified and assessed. Some locations show signs of recent occupation, equipment, supplies, defensive preparations. Each discovery is documented and reported through proper channels, contributing to the intelligence picture that informs ongoing operations. When hostile personnel decline opportunities to peacefully yield their positions, assault teams utilize appropriate methods to resolve the situation. Grenades provide effective solutions for secured spaces, rifle-mounted launchers enable standoff engagement, and small arms remain ready for direct contact scenarios. The approach remains professional throughout. Soldiers execute their duties with discipline, following established rules of engagement and operational guidelines. The work is dangerous but controlled, methodical but adaptive to changing circumstances as they develop. Meanwhile, adjacent teams continue operations in parallel structures. The distributed approach ensures comprehensive coverage of the entire settlement area. No building is bypassed. Every structure receives appropriate attention to ensure complete tactical control of the zone. As clearing operations progress, information regarding hostile equipment and remaining personnel is continuously transmitted to supporting elements. Artillery coordination teams receive targeting data, while adjacent units are informed of tactical developments that might affect their own operational areas. The pace of urban operations differs from open terrain work. Progress is measured in buildings rather than meters, but the importance of each incremental gain remains equally significant. Every secured structure denies shelter and defensive positions to opposing forces. Environmental conditions within structures vary widely. Some buildings remain relatively intact, while others show significant damage from previous engagements. Assault teams must constantly evaluate structural integrity while conducting clearing operations, adding another layer of complexity to already demanding work. Storage areas in agricultural buildings often contain equipment and supplies left by previous occupants. These discoveries are cataloged and secured. In some cases, materials may be repurposed for defensive uses. In others, they simply represent denied resources for opposing forces. The physical demands of urban clearing operations are substantial. Soldiers carry full equipment loads while navigating irregular terrain, climbing through damaged structures, and maintaining constant readiness for contact. Physical fitness and mental resilience are not optional characteristics. They are operational necessities. As hours pass, the assault unit maintains operational tempo. Fatigue management becomes a consideration, with team leaders rotating personnel through different positions to distribute the most demanding tasks. Hydration and brief rest periods are incorporated when tactical situations permit. The coordination between infantry elements and supporting arms continues seamlessly. When situations require additional firepower or specialized capabilities, requests are processed efficiently through established procedures. The integration of different military branches at the tactical level demonstrates operational maturity. Throughout clearing operations, infantry groups consistently relay information regarding hostile equipment and personnel dispositions. This real-time intelligence feeds into the broader operational picture, enabling commanders at various levels to make informed decisions about resource allocation and tactical priorities. Observation teams maintain continuous monitoring of areas beyond enemy clearing zones. This overwatch function provides early warning of potential hostile reinforcement attempts or counterattacks, allowing defensive preparations before threats materialize. The information flow is bidirectional. Forward elements receive updated intelligence regarding enemy capabilities and dispositions while simultaneously providing ground truth reports that verify or update existing assessments. This cycle of information exchange enhances overall operational effectiveness. According to preliminary assessments, operations have resulted in several hostile personnel being neutralized or secured. The specific numbers remain subject to final verification through standard reporting procedures, but initial indicators suggest successful mission outcomes. Throughout these operations, Defense Force units maintain control over secured positions while gradually improving the tactical situation across the operational sector. Each action, while locally focused, contributes to the broader strategic picture along the Eastern Front. Territory previously under contested or hostile control is now secured, allowing for subsequent phases of defensive operations. Supply routes are made more secure, observation positions are established, and the overall defensive posture is strengthened through these incremental gains. Operations of this nature serve multiple strategic purposes. They deny territory and resources to opposing forces, complicate hostile logistics and reinforcement efforts, and maintain initiative in defensive operations. Perhaps most importantly, they demonstrate the continued capability and determination of defense forces along critical front lines. Ukrainian defenders continue executing assigned missions with discipline, coordination, and effective integration between all military branches. The professionalism displayed in these operations reflects extensive training, combat experience, and unwavering commitment to territorial defense. These operations continue across multiple sectors. The work is demanding, the conditions challenging, but the mission remains clear. Defend sovereign territory and gradually improve tactical positioning across contested zones. This concludes today's situational report from the Eastern Front. For continued coverage and analytical assessment of ongoing operations, subscribe to this channel and enable notifications for future updates.